in Bloomington for another year as Indiana won 33-29. And here to talk about the win is IU head coach Bill Mallory. Coach, a nail-biter, but a great win.
Yeah, it was a good football game. Really, I thought both teams played hard, and it went right down to the wire as we expected. You know, this is what we told our football team from play one right up to the last play. Expect to play them all and play them well, because it's going to be a typical bucket game.
You had a terrific running afternoon from your freshman tailback, Alex Smith. 31 carries, 245 yards, 2 TDs. He becomes the all-time Big Ten rushing leader of anybody. Think of all the great backs in the Big Ten. He's the best in the Big Ten ever.
Well, he had a great, year. You just got better as the season went along. You could just tell him, you could just see his confidence get better, turn it loose, made a lot of good choices, and ran with a lot more authority, and certainly finished out strong against Purdue.
And speaking of finishing out strong, Pace came on this past week, and he finished his career at Indiana strong, too, didn't he?
I was very pleased with John, the way he played Saturday. I thought he really played an excellent ball game, and came in there and did a good job of handling our offense, making checks, throwing the football, running when he had to. I thought he just played a very fine game.
Another fine man, of course, for IU all year long for his entire career. Most valuable player, Alfonso Thurman, linebacker.
Well, Al's played very well all year. He really had a good game Saturday, and he's been our call man in there and our leader of our defense, and been our impact player, and we're certainly going to miss him.
Okay, let's see how it all happened last Saturday in West Lafayette as IU battled Purdue. Here's the opening kickoff. Purdue kicking to Indiana University. Their kicker is Brad Bobich. Kicking off to Eric Matthews. Not a bad run back there, Bill.
Yeah, Eric gets the ball right here, and we get a good return and get ourselves some good field position.
Alex Smith will be the first carrier for Indiana after Purdue penalty.
Yeah, we came on a sweep play right here with Alex, and finds a good seam, picks up about 5 yards.
Now here's a big play. Right away, go for the bomb. Watch John Pacey check off at the line.
Well, we could see their secondary was up playing tight, so we went deep, and we hit Eric Matthews here. Makes a nice reception. It was well thrown by John Pacey.
We'll take a look at it again in slow motion. Did their defense key off on something here that you had this play planned?
Well, they were playing their safeties down tight on us, and we were able to beat the corner deep and get in behind him. As you see right there, he gets in between the corner and the safety man, and makes a nice catch.
After a couple of penalties, after a couple of penalties, IU ball on the 9-yard line. This is Pacey on an option play.
This is on an option play right here, and John does a good job of finding the crease and picking up good yards.
Trying to go wide here, Bill, but their defense...
To the outside, we didn't get that blocked well. They were able to come off of our blocks, and we didn't pick up much there on that sweep.
Your go-to guy all year long has been Eddie Beatty.
Yeah, this is a fine pass here by John Pacey to Eddie Beatty. Eddie makes a nice catch here and takes it in for a touch.
See it again in slow motion. John must be keying on him all the way here,
right.
Looks like.
Eddie does a good job of getting off the defender, and you can see right there with that catch, and takes it in for the touchdown.
So Indiana scores first, and here we'll see Bill Manilopoulos kicking off to Purdue. And the kicking game this year, the last few weeks at least, Bill, has been kind of tough for you folks.
Our kickoff coverage has not been good. First of all, we have not done a good job in kicking the ball, and our coverage has not been good. And this is an area where we definitely have to get better. We put a lot of time into it, but still it wasn't productive enough.
Their quarterback is Billy Dickens here.
Yeah, Dickens comes out, hits Stevens over the middle for a first down.
Now later on in this drive, it's Edwin Watson who will carry the ball for about 11. You pick up. This is their touchdown drive. Purdue comes right back to answer Indiana.
Yeah, they came out on an option play here, and they made a check on this. And again, we did not get a good tackle on our initial hit there, and finally wrapped him up with Thurman.
Here's their good tailback, Corey Rogers, who hasn't played too much the last couple of games for them.
He ran a counter play right here, made a good run, and that was Lance Brown making the tackle.
And here he is in for the touchdown, tying the game up for the Boilers. Is now 7-7. We'll pick up the ball now with Indiana's ball a few moments later after the kickoff, with John Pacey passing to Alex Smith for about 10 yards.
Yeah, we get it out to the outside on a screen pass to Alex, and Alex makes a good run here and picks up a first down.
Alex had 4 receptions for 25 yards in the ball game.
We're in our one-back set, and we run a draw play, and again, it's well blocked up front. Was pleased with the blocking of our offensive line.
Gets 9 that time. He'll get about 8 more this time.
This is a blast play up the middle. Again, a good crease there, and Alex picks up some good hard running.
John Pacey to a young man we haven't seen too much this year, but lately we have, Rich Kearney.
Yeah, Rich Kearney on an out route, and Rich makes a nice catch.
Now it makes it Indiana ball again with Alex Smith carrying.
Again, blast play up the middle, and we pick up about 4 yards.
Stoner on a reverse play here, Bill. It seemed to be going real well, but I think the Purdue defense does a nice job here.
Yeah, they did a good job reacting off this. They were able to recover, and so we didn't pick up much on this reverse.
Now John Pacey will be looking for Alex Smith again, one of his receptions coming up here.
Yeah, John gets it out to Alex on a flare route, and Alex takes it to the outside.
John had a real nice day, 17 for 25 in the passing department, a couple of TDs.
Yeah, this was a play up the middle there, and didn't get much out of that particular play.
So Bill Manilopoulos comes in here, and it looks like it's almost touched by Purdue, and it goes short.
Yeah, it's off to the left there a bit, and no good.
But we'll come right back here now with Indiana ball after Purdue couldn't move it. Here will be Alex Smith here, and the big touchdown will be coming up in just one moment.
Yeah, this is an outside, what we call a bounce play to the outside. You can see there a real good move by Alex, and picks up good yards.
Here's his TD now, Bill. You might explain what happened here and how it worked.
Well, this is a blast play up the middle, and he runs it up here well with good authority. You can see there he makes some real good moves and shows real good balance. And when he's hit here down close to the, right there, down to the, close to the end zone there, he's able to maintain his balance and take it in for a score.
Let's take a look at it in slower motion now. Maybe you can...
blocks right inside there, Andrew Green and Clay Williams. Again, it's a good job him running with good authority, and he accelerates here, shows he's got good speed. And then they're able to get a hand on him right here, number 6, and yet that doesn't hold him back from getting the ball in for a touchdown.
He sort of treads the line there, and Indiana goes up on top now. 14-7. We'll pick up action here with Purdue having to kick the ball. And actually won't be kicking the ball. This is Dickin from the shotgun. He gets sacked here for a loss of 7 on 4th and 3.
Yeah, again, Lewis Pennock does a good job in keeping Dickens contained.
So now it's Indiana ball. About a minute and a half to go in the first period. Alex Smith to the left side.
We come on a bounce play to the outside out of a one-back set, and he picks up a few yards.
Here's your big fullback, your own big fella. Here's Lee.
Yeah, Steve Lee makes a good run up the middle and picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Thought his running skills came on better here in the latter part of the season, and I think you're going to see him being run more this next year.
Here's a big bomb play again to Eric Matthews. Almost connects again.
Yeah, it's too bad that Eric couldn't hang on to this. We made a fake to Alex and threw it to Eric Matthews, and Eric right at that point loses the football. But that would put us down on the 4-yard line.
But now you come back with a big 21-yard play to Jamo Stoner here.
Yeah, this is a good throw and a nice catch here by Jamo Stoner on the outside.
He's coming along real well this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has. His cuts, he expresses them well, and he's got good acceleration, good speed.
Good potential, too.
He really does.
Alex Smith again.
Now this, again, Alex Smith, the outside, we pick up some good yards.
And for the last play of the first quarter, Alex Smith again.
Yeah, Alex again up the middle and picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
After Indiana was penalized for holding on the first play of the second quarter, it's now 3rd down and 14. John Pacey back to pass.
Yeah, John's back. He fakes and decides to run and picks up some good yards. We've got a good drive going right here.
Now it's 1st and 10. This is Brett Lugg giving a little spell to Alex Smith.
Yeah, we run Brett Law up inside. Alex Smith had gotten hit in the head and was having some problems, so we pulled him out and went with Brett Law, and we power Steve Lee up the middle there, and he picks up about 2 or 3 yards.
This is a very unfortunate play here for Brett Law.
Yeah, this is a sweep play, and they rip the ball out right there. He loses it, and Brush, their defensive back, picks it up and takes it all the way back, and that was too bad. And I think this, again, is something that has plagued us as a football team this year, is those cheapies, and that's something we've got to eliminate this next year.
So it puts the game now, it's a tie ball game, and you got, and if you'd gone in and scored there, it would have been 21-7.
Right, so that's a big difference right there, because we could have taken that ball in and scored. It could have been 21-7 rather than 14-14.
Now it's Purdue later in the second quarter punting. This will be a punt from Rob Degnan to Eddie Beatty, which starts Indiana's drive for the touchdown right before the half.
I just want to say this, Eddie Beatty's done an excellent job handling our punts this year, and right there he does a good job of getting the ball back upfield and getting us field position.
John Pacey now on the touchdown drive, passing to Glover.
Yeah, this is a nice catch by Sean Glover and getting the ball to the outside here. And we just got I think, about 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, and we do a good job of moving the football here. Again, a good catch by Beatty and gets it to the outside.
Now Glover on a draw play will be on a 3rd down and 3. He picks up the first down by going 4 yards.
That's a good job of running. We needed a first down right here, and Sean Glover does a good job of running with good authority.
So it's 1st and 10 now on the Purdue 29-yard line. Pacey this time will pass to Rich Kearney again for about 6.
Yeah, this is to the outside. Rich Kearney really does a great job of keeping his 1 foot in and stop the clock by getting out of bounds.
Here's a big play, Bill. A big pass from Pacey to Eddie Beatty again.
Now, this is a good job of John reading Beatty over the middle, fires it in there well, and Eddie Beatty makes a nice catch, gets us down the 2-yard line.
And you watch the team now. The clock obviously is running out quickly here, and John will come forward and spike the ball for an incomplete pass to stop the clock. In just a moment, we'll see him setting his players, so be sure they're still for that 1 required second, and he spikes the ball. Now comes a nice play.
We had no timeouts there, so we went to what we call a big bend, get the clock stopped, and then we came back, and we had a pass call, but John saw an opening and took the ball right up inside, and it was a good choice on John's part, and he took it in here for a score.
Real hard-nosed run there by John.
He was determined he was going to get that football in there.
Now, we get the extra point blocked here, which might make a big difference later on in the ball game.
That was a poor kick. That kick was kicked low, and that was the reason for it being blocked.
So Indiana goes into the locker room leading Purdue by 6. The score is 20-14. You've totally dominated the first half. You've had 332 yards to 101 by Purdue. You had possession time of 20 minutes and 30 seconds to 9:28 for them. What was going on in the locker room with you, the coaches, and the players at halftime, Bill?
Well, I think, again, we got in, went over our adjustments, but really we didn't change anything because everything was going pretty well here in the first half. We just wanted to come back out and do it again the second half. We were, of course, concerned about Osthoff. He was a good football player, and we had contained him to 19 yards the first half. The second half, he gave us a little more problems. But for the most part, our team came back that second half and played hard.
Well, let's go back to the second half and see how things worked out. Purdue's Mike Allstott held pretty well in check, as Bill said, in the first half. Shows he's hard to handle here in the second half. It's Purdue's ball just after the kickoff. And here comes Allstott on a draw play for 14 yards.
Allstott here makes a good run, a belly play up the middle, and I'll tell you, he's a fine back. I don't think there's probably a better back in the country his size as far as just a big back. You can see right here he makes a real fine move and takes it up in there. We weren't able to get him stopped.
And here he comes again for his touchdown here. He's about 250-some pounds, strong as a bull, from Joliet Catholic High School in Joliet, Illinois.
Right, he takes it in for a score, and so at this point, it's 21-20.
Purdue is on top for the first time in the ball game, but Indiana comes right back with Steve Lee picking up 10 yards here.
Steve Lee off tackle and makes up some nice yards there.
Looking like Mike Allstott running there, wasn't he?
We hope so in the future.
Here's Alex Smith picking up nice yards.
This is a draw play that we ran with Alex, and he takes it upfield, makes some real fine cuts, and picks up good yards.
Here's a great play, Bill. Talk about this one.
Well, this is kind of what we call a sucker pass, and we pitched it back from Alex to John Pacey, and he hit Beatty over the middle and picks up good yards.
A big pickup of 25 yards, and now it's Alex Smith for the Hoosiers for about 4 here. And the pass that we see in slow motion again. And you can see that Pacey is in good position, a good block by Alex after he passes back to him. And Eddie is wide open here, fighting for yardage after he gets hit here, too.
Well, their safeties were quick to come up and support. And again, too, the respect that they had for Alex Smith, and we were able to catch him on a sucker pass over the middle there to Beatty.
Now, here's that Alex Smith play for about 4.
Yeah, Alex, again, he's taking it up there, running it with good authority, and picks up about 4 yards.
Next time he carries the ball, he'll pick up 11. So he's gaining pretty good yardage almost every play, isn't he, Bill?
Yeah, this is an off-tackle play, and you can see it makes some nice moves and picks up good yards.
Now we'll see Steve Lee again getting another call up the middle.
Yeah, Steve up the middle, and he churns out about 3-4 yards there. He had 20 yards total rushing, and he'll get better as we feature him more.
This is Alex again, the right side for about 4. Now Pacey will go in for a touchdown for IU.
This is a counter that we ran, and John took it in for a score. This was his second touchdown. It was a good job of running there with good authority by John.
Going for 2 on the extra point.
Yeah, we went for 2 here, and unfortunately we we didn't get this completed. And they
intercepted by
yeah.
Brush, who is the same man who ran that,
Yeah.
that fumble back for the touchdown. So now we'll pick up action here with Purdue's ball. 3rd down and 5.
You know, we were in man coverage, and our linebacker didn't get their running back picked up out of the backfield, Rogers. And then we had a late hit on the sideline, and that was really costly. That was too bad. That gave him good field position.
Now it's later on. It's 3rd down and 4.
Now this is Dickens on a run. He's a real fine athlete, and Allstott made a heck of a hit on Warnicki, and in fact, he knocked him out of the ball game and took it in for a touchdown.
Point conversion by Purdue.
Yeah, on the backside, our corner didn't stay at home, and they were able to hit a Thornton coming across the middle on a touch.
So now it's Purdue up 29-26.
I should say on 2 points, rather.
With 6:31 to go here in period number 3. Now we'll pick up action in period number 4. Jim DiGiulio gets a nice punt here, Bill, right down to the 1-yard line, which will eventually lead to Indiana's final TD.
Well, this is a good punt by Jim. He kicks the ball and it rolls down. Eric Smedley is right there and does a real good job of coverage. And again, that's excellent field position.
Mike Allstott tried to run the ball out for the Boilers. He'll pick up about 5 on this first three here.
Yeah, they come off tackle with him, and he picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
So now it's 2nd down and 5 for Purdue. This will be Watson for about 1. Now another big 3rd down play coming up.
Well met there by Al Thurman.
3rd down and 4. Brian Gale passing now. He's the quarterback who took over for the injured Billy Dicken, who I guess is out with a bad shoulder, isn't he, Bill?
This is Allstott here breaking some tackles and picking up a 1st down.
So now Indiana comes up here with a big play, a fumble, and Eric Terrell will recover.
Yeah. John Hammerstein does a good job right there and forcing that fumble, and that recovered it.
So Indiana comes right back now. Big chance to Indiana to win the ball game here, and of course they do eventually, but not without having some great defensive plays later on in this period. With the ball will be Alex Smith here, and he'll get stopped for about a 1-yard loss, one of his only few carries of the day where he didn't gain positive yardage.
Yeah, they came off the backside there, and they nailed Alex right there for a 1-yard loss.
But this time they won't.
Came out on a sweep play. Again, this play worked well for us, and this was good execution and a good job of taking it down about the 2-yard line.
And this carry, he'll get it for his touchdown of the afternoon, his 2nd TD of the afternoon. Alex Smith carrying 31 times for 245 yards.
Yeah, this is just good hard running on the part of Alex Smith and takes it in for a touch.
So Indiana goes on top after Bill Manilopoulos' 6 point is successful, 33-29 with 10 minutes to play. And now the rest of what we're going to see is the defense against Purdue as Purdue desperately tries to get back in the ball game here, Bill.
We had a good pass rush. It was a good job of Nate Davis getting in and rush on there, and John Hammerstein, and that was real key right there.
Here's a big play for them to Allstott.
Yeah, this a screen pass, and again, he really shows his running ability, and finally was brought down by Joe King, and give Joe a lot of credit. Joe weighs about 175 pounds versus 250 pounds going at full speed.
Here's Gale passing to Thornton for 11 yards.
Yeah, they got the ball to Thornton to the outside here. We were an 8-man front, and they were able to get a quick pass to the outside and get a 1st down.
On the Indiana 34-yard line, Allstott again on a draw play.
Yeah, Allstott to the outside, and there was a penalty of holding. They held our end right there, so it was called back.
Now here's Gale. Here's Allstott again on a draw play.
Yeah, and this is, again, we missed him and finally got him yards.
Here's Gale getting sacked here by Eli Rashid, who will pick up the fumble as well.
Well, no, Trevor Wellmont coming off the backside, he hit him, and then it was Eli Rashid that got the fumble.
So Indiana had the ball for about 4 plays and back to Purdue. So here's their last try with about 4 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. This is Gale passing to Thornton now for about 23 yards to the IU 37-yard line. Nail-biting time, Bill.
Yeah, this is to the outside, and finally is brought down by Trevor Wellmont.
A play or two later, it's Indiana on the 32-yard line, Purdue's ball.
They tried to run an option, and finally Lewis Pinnock ran him down. Gale fumbled the ball momentarily, and then Pinnock was able to throw him for a loss.
Loss of 7 that play. Shotgun pass here from Gale to Olivedetti.
Yeah, this was a desperate pass.
Wow.
A heck of a catch. We thought right there was a fumble, but they ruled the ball down.
Perhaps the biggest defensive play of the entire season comes up right here, Bill.
This is Gale to the outside, and that's a real fine job there by Nate Davis, and that really was a big play by Nate.
Because now it forces Purdue into a real passing situation, 3rd down and 23, and Gale, who was listed in their book as a linebacker, even though he was a quarterback in high school, at the beginning of this season, comes in and throws an incomplete pass to Allen. Now it's 4th down, 23. Another pass attempt to Allen, incomplete. Indiana takes over, and John Pacey runs out the clock. And we'll see the bucket is carried by Alfonso Thurman after the ball game here. Alfonso Thurman, the most valuable player of Indiana team this year, showing it off to the fans in the south end zone. And here's a bucket back in our studio here, and I'm glad you brought it, Bill. We've had it here now about 4 or 5 times in the last 5 or 6 years, haven't we?
That's where we want it, right here, and put another eye on there. I'll set those ugly peas there, Mickey.
We had the banquet on Sunday. Talk about some of the winners of various awards in the banquet.
Well, the most valuable award went to Al Thurman, who had a great season for us. Lance Brown was the outstanding defensive back. Our defensive lineman, the outstanding defensive lineman, was Troy Drake. On the offensive lineman was Andrew Green, who played very well for us. And, of course, the outstanding back was Alex Smith. Our captains were recognized, you know, Troy Drake and Al Thurman. Both of them were selected by their teammates. We had other awards, too, but it was a real fine banquet. And, of course, with that win, really put a great taste in our mouth.
Because coming into this week, you had lost 4 in a row. A couple of games you probably shouldn't have lost. And one game which the fans just stood up and cheered, the Penn State game, when the team tried and they won, had a great play at the moment of the ball game there, and the fans were cheering and just yelling for what a terrific effort the team had made, but still it was a losing effort. If you look back at things now, would you have done anything differently at all in preparing for, let's say, Northwestern or Michigan State? Or was it something that the kids didn't do in execution to win those ball games?
Well, you know, look back at that Northwestern game. We came out of a bye week, and we just weren't sharp. I felt good coming out of that Iowa win and felt it was a football team that was improving. And we worked hard during those bye weeks that we had, but we just did not perform well against Northwestern. We made some costly mistakes, and that hurt. Northwestern came in with the win over Minnesota, and they were sky high and confident and played possessed, and they made plays and we didn't. And we had some costly mistakes and came out on the short end, and that was really a low stage of the season, and it really hurt our confidence too. And yet our football team, I thought, we came back the next week and prepared for Michigan State. Team worked hard and went in and played Michigan State hard. I thought that there was a lot of good football, and yet we made 4 costly mistakes that really hurt us in that ball game. We came out on the short end 27-21. But again, our football team came right back and played a great Penn State team well. And unfortunately, we came up short right at the end. We came back and played Ohio State hard, too. And Ohio State's a good football team. But those 2 losses, particularly that Northwestern game, I thought was very key to this season right there.
Well, next year you've got a whole bunch of kids coming back. You lose up 8 or 9 starters on both offense and defense. It's a exciting time for you in the spring preparing for next fall, and the fall preparing for the new 1995 season.
Well, we do. I think we've got a lot of good players back, and I think there's a lot of good attitude that this football team has the potential of being a good team. It's just a matter of us getting some of our people better, filling those voids. We've got some people we're going to have players step forth and fill the vacant spot, particularly on defense. Lose 3 linebackers, but we've got people who are capable. It's now their turn, and they've got to step to the forefront and get it done. We'll miss Andrew Green at that guard position, so somebody's got to step forth there, Mike Mihalik and whoever. So we've got some voids to fill, but I think it's a football team that certainly does have good potential.
Good. That's it for this week. Our thanks to Coach Bill Mallory for joining us here in the studio with the Old Oaken Bucket. Next week, we'll have all the highlights of each of the 1994 games for you, so join us for the year in review on the next show. Until then, this is Mickey Klein. Thank you, and so long for Big Red Football.
Big Red Football is made possible in part by Joe Dial Insurance of Bloomington. Joe Dial Insurance is part of the Wells Insurance Group and provides business and personal insurance, group life and health insurance, loss control and loss prevention services, and risk management consulting. Big Red Football is available on home video cassette. If you'd like a copy of this or any of the Big Red Football programs, write to WTIU or call during normal business hours.
WTIU would like your opinion of the program you just viewed. Our audience response line is always open, and we are eager to hear from you about this or any other WTIU program. Please call us at area code 812-855-0501 and tell us what you think.
Next on